I'm more excited about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7 than ever. There's finally been some leaks. We've seen some photos of what this phone is actually supposed to look like, at least from what I can tell. And it looks like there's going to be three different color models: a green, like a grayish black looking, and a black, a green, and a purple. So it looks like navy green has kind of been around for a couple of years now. I like navy green, and then the black, and then of course the most important one to me is purple. So if y'all have been around my channel any particular amount of time, you know that purple is my favorite color. Anytime I can get a device in purple, it makes me exceedingly happy. Just like this one, the Pixel 9a, which I have in purple, which they call Iris. But yes, we're right on the precipice. We're very close to the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7 being here, with the presumed launch being next month in May, which would be great because I am ready probably more than anybody for this phone to get here. So here's the images. You can see them yourself. I had to download these off the internet, but yeah, it looks like it's still going to be a 6.5-inch screen. We don't know really what it's going to be for resolution yet. I'm hoping they bumped it up to Quad HD+. Still going to have 3 cameras on the back, dedicated shutter button, almost guarantee we're going to have a headphone jack, SD card slot, all that stuff, the things that Sony is known for, and really the only flagship phone left out there in the wild that actually cares about putting these things in their phone. So, with that being said, one other surprise. So I've been doing some research and digging the last couple of days, and it seems like there's been a Sony phone that has popped up on the FCC radar. So that doesn't mean we're going to get it, but Sony doesn't usually test out the waters with the FCC stuff and waste time and money if they're not going to have a version that might be supported here in the US. Now, they've definitely cut back on the amount of models that they have, but I could definitely see them maybe pipelining one of them over here, and that would make me incredibly happy. And that's the two things kind of to take away from this video. One, well, three things to take away from this video, right? First, hopefully it'll show up next month. I mean, they're pretty well on track, it seems like, with all the leaks and the rumors and the timelines, and this is kind of when everything gets spinning up every year. So we'll probably see it next month. When will it be available? Probably June or July. That would be my guess. Usually, it's like, all right, we'll launch around May, and then June, July timeframe, you might be able to get it depending on what market you're in. So, launch, relatively imminent. I mean, we're here in the last week of April, so it's time to start getting excited about this. And then two, of course, the purple color. That makes me really, really happy. So, maybe it doesn't make you as happy. You can get the khaki green or you can get the black or whatever, but I'm a big fan of purple anything, so I'm excited about that. And then three, there might be a model coming to the US. And that would be a big, huge step. Like, that would be a big step back into the US market if this happens. I'm sure it won't be on any carriers. But hopefully they at least do a model that's certified for our market so we can use it and get 5G. That was the biggest headache with the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 6. Yes, you could kind of use it with 5G, but you had to go in and do this weird manual stuff in the settings with like the special menu to get to any of it. And then still, it really didn't seem like it worked much better than 4G LTE, which of course you can use it 4G LTE, but you kind of want 5G, right? Especially if you're paying this much money for a phone. They're very, very, very expensive phones. And one of the reasons they are expensive is just because they don't make as many. They're not in as many markets. They don't sell as many of these phones, so they have higher profit margin on these things. So they got to sell them for higher to make money off of them, so they can continue to make these phones. Which I'm glad that they still are. I was really worried because after the pullback out of the market in the U.S. after the Xperia 1 Mark 5, I really wasn't expecting to see another phone. I mean, I'm not saying that I wasn't expecting to see another phone, but the rumor there might be one in the U.S. is good, but it's still a good sign globally that they're still making a phone. And I think maybe they've just realized, okay, maybe we just need to focus on the premium, maybe the 10 Mark 1, the 1 Mark 7, maybe we don't need a 5, maybe we don't need a Mark 3, like all these things. They were making too many phones that people just weren't buying. So if they dial it back to maybe 2 models, if they expand the reach a little bit, if they come back to the U.S., I think that would make quite a few people happy. But don't expect it to be cheap. Like, I don't expect this phone to be cheap at all. No, I don't. It's one of those things where they're expensive, but I like them. I really enjoy the phones. I really enjoyed the Xperia 1 Mark 6 even more than I thought I would. I know that I was one of the people that was upset when they were talking about no more 4K, changing up the dimension on the screen, but I really like the dimension on the screen where they made the aspect ratio wider. I actually like that. I think it's turned out to be a good thing, and then it's definitely been brighter. The battery life has been phenomenal. There's pretty much nobody out there in the flagship realm that's been able to touch them in the battery life department. So getting an upgrade to the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, the fancy purple color making a comeback. The last time we had purple, I believe, was the Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV, which I had that one as well. The seriously overheating phone that had a lot of problems, but we loved it anyway, as we do with our Sony phones. So yeah, that's a lot to digest, I guess. I mean, couple things. I mean, again, the launch date, we don't know what it is yet, but presumably it's going to be probably around the middle, maybe the third week of next month is what my guess would be. I could, of course, be wrong, but we'll wait and see. And then the biggest news is it going to be available in the U.S. for us? I mean, if you're watching my video right now, you're probably not in Japan. You're probably in the U.S. So you're like me, and you're sitting here waiting, trying to find out, are we going to get one? Are we going to get one? And we will not have the answer to that until the actual phone launch. But it was promising that something with the Sony name actually showed up on the FCC radar, because what happens when we get a phone in the U.S. is it's got to be signed off and certified by the FCC. So they'll have it, it'll come through, and it'll pop up because, you know, the FCC is looking at it. So that's a good sign, but yeah, it's just a good sign at this point. It's nothing that we can hang our hat on. You never know. Just because something pops up on the FCC doesn't mean that it's a shoe-in that we're actually going to get it. But I'm excited about the color. The color options will still be good. The khaki green making a resurgence. I think this is like the third year in a row. And I had the khaki green when they came out with it on the Xperia 1 Mark V. Really liked it a lot. And then I've got the black one for the Xperia 1 Mark VI. I will be getting a purple Xperia 1 Mark 7. I'm hoping they come out with another model, because before they had the red one last year that they came out with, and the red one was beautiful. I saw it in person while I was in Japan last fall. I'm like, man, I really want this phone, but I already had the black one, so I wasn't going to buy another one because they are expensive phones. But yes, the red one was gorgeous last year. The purple one should be really nice this year. I'm all about purple phones. I'm all about Sony. I'm all about flagship level stuff. I'm really excited to see what we get with the cameras. We still don't have any official information on the cameras. Presumably, and what we've seen in the rumor mill, is that we're going to get a better ultra wide, better telephoto. It looks like hopefully we'll get the Exmor sensor on all three cameras, which would be a big win, because that would really take things up a notch. And I think it would make the phone more competitive than it already is. So we'll see what happens. But those are the big things. And I hope we get better support. I'd like to see longer support. And I would like to see a US model. And I would like to see a return of at least Quad HD Plus. I really don't feel like you can charge as much money as they do for a phone and not at least have Quad HD Plus. The Full HD Plus, I mean, I used it quite a bit. It really didn't bother me whatsoever after I used it. I mean, it's one of those things where, can you tell a difference? And maybe a little bit. But at the end of the day, I mean, it was this or nothing, right? It was either we get the Sony Xperia 1 Mark VI or we get nothing. And surprisingly, they did make some big upgrades in the sound. They made some big upgrades in the screen. Very bright, very vibrant, and a much better screen experience than we had in the past, which has been a little on the darker side. So there are some trade-offs for sure. But in the year 2025, with a new Sony phone, Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7, I would really love to see them come out swinging these new colors, new hardware specs, and get back into the game. That's what I'd really like to see, and with a couple little upgrades, right? So that's all I got. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully y'all are as excited as I am about the new upcoming Sony phone. Again, crossing fingers here for the US, but I'll be getting the purple one anyway. That is the one I will be buying, no ifs, ands, or buts. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all that stuff, please, of course, go to the comment section. I'll do my best to try and get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.